What's good, everybody? It's Dory's here, and today I'm bringing y'all an AEW Dynamite review. Now, originally, I wasn't gonna do this review because I don't even really keep up with this show like that on a week-to-week basis. I usually just watch when MJF is there, or like when Bryan Danielson is there, or FTR. And FTR was on this show, and so was MJF. Danielson, he wasn't on this show, but this was actually a really good show, and I just felt the need to talk about it. So we gonna get right into it. Starting off the show, we got the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royale. And the winner also gets a world title opportunity at MJF next week at Winter is Coming. So we'll just get into the finish of this real quick. Ricky Starks, he ended up winning this. He eliminated Matt Hardy, and then he eliminated Ethan Page to win the match. Immediately after he won the match, MJF, his music hit, and he came right down to the ring. I'm not gonna go into detail on what these two men said, but just know that they was going at it on the mic. So MJF, he was just throwing shots at Ricky Starks, calling him basically like a whack version of The Rock. He called him the Pebble, and he said that he was gonna send Starks back to NWA to wrestle on YouTube, which I found funny as hell, to be honest. Starks, he didn't have a microphone in his hand yet, so on his way to grab a microphone, he shoulder bumped MJF. He basically said MJF, he runs from responsibility, but it takes responsibility to be the AEW World Champion. So for the first time in MJF's life, oh, I'm sorry, Ricky Starks actually said that he was going to do MJF a favor and he was going to relieve him of that responsibility of being the AEW World Champion. So overall, Ricky Starks just showed that he's one of the best on the microphone, and he's extremely over with the crowd right now. He's quickly becoming one of my favorites. You know, like he was just somebody that I knew was good, but I wasn't really invested in him. But I think he proved that he's really good, and he should be somebody to like watch out for in AEW. So next up, we got Samoa Joe versus Darby Allin for the TNT Championship. And I'm not gonna lie, this match was brutal. The bumps that Darby Allin was taking were pretty sick. There was a spot where he went for a suicide dive, and when Darby Allin does a suicide dive, he doesn't just like do a suicide dive. He literally throws his whole body into you. So Joe, he casually just walked out the way, and Darby Allin, it looked like he rolled through, so he got some protection. But either way, I know that hurt. So he landed on the floor on the concrete. A few moments later, Samoa Joe actually hit a power slam on him on some exposed concrete. So again, that just goes to show that Darby Allin was taking some nasty bumps this match. Towards the end of this match, Darby Allin attempted a coffin drop, but Joe caught him in a rear naked chokehold, and he put Darby Allin to sleep and won the match. After the match, Joe wasn't done though. He took Darby Allin's skateboard and gave him a muscle buster on the skateboard, which led to Wardlow coming out, and then Joe just retreated. Like I said, this was a good match. Darby Allin took some sick bumps. I low key worry for Darby Allin because I know all of that shit hurts, and I would honestly be surprised if he's still wrestling in about 10 years with the bumps that he's taken. But, anyways, next up we got Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta versus Jake Hager and Daniel Garcia. Now, I didn't really get to see this match because at this point in the show, that's when I finally decided to pick up my notepad and start writing notes. Like I said, I wasn't originally gonna review the show because I don't really keep up with AEW on a week-to-week basis. But so yeah, in the end, Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta, they win the match. So after the match, Tony Schiavone, he was in the ring with the Blackpool Combat Club, and he showed them an interview that he conducted with William Regal 2 weeks ago. So this was before MJF actually attacked William Regal. And in a nutshell, Regal basically said that he did what he did to teach them a final lesson. Is to always be on edge, keep your head on a swivel, and have eyes in the back of your head. Something along those lines. And he also said that he's Blackpool Combat Club until the day he dies. So we already know the situation with William Regal. It looks like he's going back to WWE. He's not coming back to AEW, so good for him, I guess. So Tony Schiavone, he asked the Blackpool Combat Club what their thoughts were on William Regal. And Jon Moxley grabbed the microphone, and he didn't even really address William Regal. He just did his whole like pro wrestling over sports entertainment stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, it's getting pretty old with the whole pro wrestling over sports entertainment stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, if you heard it once, you might as well have heard it a million times. So next up, we got one of my favorites in the women's division, Jamie Hayter, in a sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone. Basically, she just said that she was going to be a fighting champion and that she was going to give either Hikaru Shida or the Bunny an opportunity at the AEW Women's Championship, whoever were to win that match on Rampage, which I'm not going to watch. But yeah, that's really all this was. It wasn't too much to this interview. Next up, Jay Cargill, Layla Gray, and Red Velvet versus Sky Blue, Kiera Hogan, and Madison Rain. Again, not too much to this. Jay Cargill hits Jaded on Madison Rain, which is basically like Beth Phoenix's finisher. And she picked up the victory for her and the baddies. Another backstage segment, Tony Schiavone, he was with Saraya. Britt Baker, she interrupted and challenged her to a tag match. So January 11th, I believe the date was announced. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Saraya and a partner of her choosing. So we'll just have to see who Saraya finds as her partner. And then finally, we got FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler versus the Acclaimed, Max Caster, and Anthony Bones for the World Tag Team Championships. This was a really good match. Both these teams got huge responses from the crowd. I mean, if the only other team that's probably just as over as FTR is the Acclaimed, and that doesn't mean they're as good as wrestlers as FTR. That just means that like the crowd really loves them. Because I don't think anybody's really good at tag team wrestling like FTR is, but that's just my personal opinion. I'm sure a lot of you guys have the same feelings. So before the break, FTR, they gave Max Caster a catapult on the steel beams of the ring, and I already know that hurt. Bowens, he ended up getting the hot tag. He gets offense on both men before hitting a knee strike on Dax Harwood for a 2 count. FTR, they hit a pile driver on Bowens for a 2 count. And then towards the end of the match, FTR, they hit a Shatter Machine on Caster. Or I believe it's the Shatter Machine. I don't know what they call it in AEW. But from what I remember, it was called the Shatter Machine when they were back in NXT. So they hit a Shatter Machine on Caster. Bowens, he broke up the pinfall. This is awesome chants from the crowd, which it really was awesome. So Max Caster, he misses a mic drop off the top rope, which is basically an elbow drop. Cash Wheeler, he hit a powerbomb into a jackknife cover, but Caster actually rolled through with a really deep cover and picked up the win. So we got FTR losing in another match on AEW Dynamite, and I'm not gonna lie, FTR, they've really been made to look like losers. It's like every time you see them on TV, you know they're gonna have the best match, but they always end up losing. I can't really remember the last time they won on Dynamite. So, and I mean, yes, they hold damn near all the tag team championships under the sun, IWGP, AAA, Ring of Honor, but those belts don't matter on AEW television. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the AEW tag team championships that matter on AEW television, and they can't win that match. So I mean, it is what it is. Tony Khan, you gotta book these guys a lot better. Anyways, after the match, FTR, they show respect to the Acclaimed, and then the Gun Club, they pop up on the big screen. They're basically like FTR is going to face the Briscoes in a double dog collar match at Final Battle for the ROH Tag Team Championships this Saturday, which I will not be watching because I'm just not invested in Ring of Honor. But I already know that's going to be a good match because the Briscoes are good wrestlers, and obviously FTR are good wrestlers. So yeah, guys, that was my thoughts on AEW Dynamite. Like I said, I wasn't really gonna do this review, and I'm not sure if I'm even gonna review future AEW shows because I'm just not invested on a week-to-week basis unless it's MJF, Danielson, FTR, you know, the good wrestlers. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you for making it to this point in the video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like. I hope you have a good day, and I'm out.